These live-action adaptations drove their fans into rage, but which one deserves the most hate? I'm Ashley with WatchMojo, and today we're going to be diving into the worst parts of The Last Airbender and Dragonball Evolution. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Although versus battles are usually about finding a winner, today we're going to be finding a loser.
That child is being arrested.
For what?
He was bending tiny stones at us from behind a tree. It really hurt.
Round 1, Plot and Characterization. Avatar: The Last Airbender follows a boy who uses his elemental powers to bring peace to a war-torn world. Instead of adapting a short storyline, director M. Night Shyamalan turned a 20-episode season into a 2-hour movie. As a result, the audience gets a barrel of exposition dumped onto them in every scene.
I think you're in that ice for almost 100 years.
The story is also bogged down by a relentlessly grim tone. The heavy mood makes comic relief characters like Sokka sound bitter and depressed.
They're on a ship. We'd need a miracle to catch them. I know you think everything's going to work out, but I don't.
When the original source material got dark and detailed, the creators added humor to break it up, but there's hardly any jokes in The Last Airbender. The movie's emphasis on world building and the show's depressing elements gave us a bland and bleak adaptation.
Trying to eat me.
In Dragon Ball Evolution, Goku must prevent Piccolo from using the magical Dragon Balls to conquer the world.
He's after the Dragon Ball. Is it safe?
While the plot sounds straightforward enough, the movie botches its premise in bizarre ways. The tone shifts between humor to drama at random, with a new plot hole appearing every 10 minutes. The most bizarre changes are saved for the characters.
My grandfather is dead.
Instead of being a pure and gifted warrior, Goku is a girl-crazy high school student who spends the whole movie learning one move. If characters' personalities weren't radically changed, they're removed like Goku's best friend Krillin. But even if the characters had resembled their anime counterparts, they'd still be stuck in a messy story.
Well, I guess she hadn't robbed us. We wouldn't be able to get this Dragon Ball.
Well, everything happens for a reason, bro.
So, although Last Airbender's plot lacks the humor and flow of the source material, it at least tried to be a faithful adaptation. Dragon Ball Evolution butchers its narrative and series details so badly that the story feels both incomprehensible and unrecognizable from its roots. Loser: Dragon Ball Evolution. Round 2, Casting. The world of Avatar: The Last Airbender is steeped in various Asian cultures and traditions. So when 3 Caucasian actors were cast to lead the film, fans immediately called the film out for its whitewashing.
He's the teacher responsible for me. He's kind of like my father.
To add insult to injury, they hired Asian actors to play the villains. Although Shyamalan defended his casting choices, he couldn't defend the terrible acting.
Should we try it?
Yes, we should.
Noah Ringer's Aang and Nicola Peltz's Katara deliver their lines with little emotion or variety. At the same time, Jason Rathbone's Sokka is too over the top to take seriously. While Dev Patel's Zuko and Sean Tube's Iroh gave decent performances, their acting couldn't overcome the uneven cast or controversy.
You could fall in love here. We could settle down here. And you could have a blessed life.
Some claim that Dragon Ball Evolution was also guilty of whitewashing characters due to the casting of Caucasian actors in the original's somewhat Asian setting.
What good to Dragon Ball's gonna do you?
They're gonna make me famous. I'm gonna make them an unlimited source of energy.
However, to the movie's credit, they got notable Asian actors like Chow Yun-fat, Jamie Chung, and June Park to fill out some of the main roles. Unfortunately, none of their performances are consistent.
You're nothing but a low-life bandit.
Yeah, but what with the latter? Just think it over, because after the sun comes out, it's gonna be hot, hot, hot.
The acting ranges from melodramatic to underwhelming in any given scene. Although James Masters tries to make his villainous Piccolo three-dimensional, he doesn't get enough screen time to explore his character. While the casting decisions look decent on paper, the actors struggle to make their roles look good on screen.
Help me, Goku.
Both movies made terrible casting decisions. However, The Last Airbender's casting is much more problematic. In addition, Jason Rathbone earned a Razzie for his portrayal of Sokka. The Last Airbender's infamous and controversial casting takes this round. Loser, The Last Airbender. Round 3, Dialogue. Shyamalan has been criticized for his unique approach to dialogue. Unfortunately for him, his Last Airbender script didn't help his writing reputation.
We'll catch him soon, Uncle. Then we can think about the pretty girls.
Most of the dialogue is dedicated to exposition instead of character development. This makes all the characters sound like identical robots, forced to deliver endless streams of information. When we're not hearing exposition, the dialogue sounds awkward.
You're not still upset?
Not as much as I was.
Characters tell us how they're feeling instead of showing it, and say things no human being ever would. But the worst aspect of the dialogue is the new pronunciations of Aang and Sokka's names. While that seems like a minor offense, the altered pronunciations can sound grating to loyal fans.
So, are you the Avatar, Aang?
If you took a bunch of cliche fantasy lines and smashed them together, you might accidentally recreate the Dragon Ball Evolution script. The movie is littered with generic phrases like, remember who you are, the power was inside of you, and the prophecy.
If the prophecy is true, in 7 days, the sun will be eclipsed by the blood moon.
As a result, the movie's dialogue lacks any sense of originality or effort. The lines that don't sound like they were ripped from a random fantasy novel are nonsensical, and characters often make huge leaps in logic during their conversations.
Just because my name is Chi-Chi doesn't make me a complete idiot.
Right, because there's a lot stupider names than Chi-Chi.
In addition, several characters have strange speech patterns that make dialogue even harder to follow.
One day Dragon Balls could power the world.
Don't worry, a third of 0 is still 0.
As weird as Dragon Ball Evolution's dialogue is, you can at least tell characters apart from one another. Every person we meet in The Last Airbender is just another exposition machine. And we just can't let that Aang pronunciation go. Loser, The Last Airbender. Round 4, Special Effects / CGI. It cost over $100 million to realize The Last Airbender on screen, but the final product didn't always reflect the high budget. There are multiple points in the movie where the backgrounds stick out like sore thumbs. Aang's adorable animal companions are turned into generic CGI creations that feel fake. Although the elemental bending can look impressive at times, the quality of these scenes is inconsistent. The effects for the earthbending scenes are particularly laughable. After spending millions on visuals, the creative team spent an additional $5 to $10 million for a last-minute 3D conversion that brought down the movie's quality even more. Whether we're watching a transformation sequence or flashy attack, we could always count on the Dragon Ball franchise to deliver impressive visuals. The same cannot be said for Dragon Ball Evolution. Within the first few minutes of the film, we're subjected to a ridiculous close-up of Goku's CGI sweat. After that rocky opening, we're subjected to poorly animated energy attacks and unconvincing backgrounds. But the pinnacle of horrible effects came during Goku's ape transformation.
Goku, no!
I don't think Goku's there anymore!
Editors gave Goku a CGI face and chest that looks less realistic than a bargain bin ape costume. Despite having a budget of $30 million, most of the effects can't even compare to a low-budget DBZ fan film.
Only with faith and you win.
Heading into this round, The Last Airbender's large budget gave it an advantage, but Dragon Ball Evolution sealed its own fate with too many atrocious effects to count. Loser, Dragon Ball Evolution. Round 5, Fight Scenes. Bending matchups in Avatar The Last Airbender are fast-paced and unpredictable, but the movie's fights lack those crucial elements. Slow motion is so overused in The Last Airbender that even Zack Snyder would find it excessive. When the fights move faster, they often lack bending or are completely one-sided. Speaking of one-sided, firebenders get a ridiculous downgrade. The movie's firebenders must manipulate the fire around them instead of creating it from nothing. This gives them an obvious weakness that is almost never exploited. If the clashes had been more exciting, we might have overlooked this ludicrous change to the lore. Do the fight scenes in Dragon Ball Evolution measure up to the legendary clashes of its source material? The short answer is no. In the anime, you felt the impact of every punch. None of the hits feel remotely real in the movie. While the show's fight choreography was brilliant and dramatic, the movie's fights were either simple or played for laughs.
Doing good.
The original series blew us away with its stunning animation. The movie gives us bad effects and obvious wirework. Just when you think it can get any worse, Evolution botches Goku's legendary Kamehameha, somehow launching himself forward towards his enemy Piccolo. If we only judged how the fight scenes compared to their source material, both films would tie for last. But when it comes to the movies, Dragon Ball Evolution has a slight edge. While its serious clashes fall flat, its light-hearted fights can be somewhat amusing. Last Airbender's fights are too slow, serious, and predictable. Our final round's loser, by technical knockout, is The Last Airbender.
That's gotta hurt.
Loser, The Last Airbender. With a score of 3-2, The Last Airbender achieves its destiny of sinking to the bottom of the bargain bin. So which of these movies do you hate the most? Let us know in the comments below, maybe check out one of these other videos, and subscribe to WatchMojo.